So, Bitcoin. Well. You know what? Everyone's losing their brain right now. Even MicroStrategy's there, like, not looking good, bro. Today, guys, it's D-Day or not. All right. Today, we're going to know if Bitcoin has come to the level that we've been expecting from yesterday's live, the important level. Not yesterday's, the day before, the important range that Bitcoin needed to reverse from. So if you haven't watched Wednesday night's video, then you won't understand what I'm talking about, but I'm going to show you exactly what the story is. Excuse me. I'm trying to approach the charts today in the most relaxed way possible. Mad love, man. Bates, yeah, you've been here for a while, man. And yeah, there's a lot of people that are being rattled by this dippericious, okay? This ain't no salsa dip, man. We're talking quite an aggressive drop. So what I'm going to do now is just break down the logic for you, okay? Because there's no news out there that's really sparking any interest in cryptocurrency. You want good news? Well, what's going on is a lot of BlackRock traders, or should I say Bitcoin ETF players, are starting to get a little bit cautious about what the story is. So what we're going to do is just break down levels. That's all we're going to do today. I'm going to break down a few levels on Bitcoin, a few levels on the NASDAQ, and what we can expect. We've just had some news announcements come out, and the PCE's coming in at the same. So other than that, we're just waiting for Donald Trump to pop his little head up into the calendar and start talking about tariffs. Maybe he'll move it to the 1st of March. Who knows? Maybe something's going to happen over the weekend, which could trigger an absolute madness across the board. One way or another, ladies and gentlemen, it will all start to make sense to you once we're done with this live. So I am going to try and keep this one short and sweet. Time me if you want. I'm going to try and get this out to you as quick as I can. So let's get with the program. Here we go. So NASDAQ, it's trading at very significant lows. Just to put it into perspective, good old NVIDIA is on discount right now. And you can see it's not really doing too well. It is gapping down at the open, which there could be a possibility that they try and recover this gap. And NVIDIA is coming into some very interesting zones right now. It's just closed off this gap right here. And other than that, there is a very small gap around the 115 mark. Quite frankly, someone said in the comment section that if NVIDIA were to go down to $80, Bitcoin would get smacked. Speaking of Bitcoin, the word on the street is that it plummets below 80K, which is fine, and it fills the CME gap. So all the CME gap dudes are like, Tino, what about the gap? What about the gap? And I'm like, okay then. So your gap has now been filled. Now, do you remember the range that we were talking about on the higher time frame only this week? There's your reversal right there, ladies and gentlemen. So I said that Bitcoin would reverse from this point, and it has reversed from it. Here is the surgical breakdown of the hybrid system. Take this blue vector candle. Take the high, take the low of the candlestick. Now go and get yourself a nice little Fibonacci and find the midpoint of that range. Just look at the despicable precision of the 50% of that range. Why is this important? Because the assumption is that this candle was halfway becoming a vector candle. That means that the offers started to get a bit more aggressive. That means people were buying at that point. That means there were bids inside of those ranges that would suggest that when it gets to that point, the market's memory would then trigger to reverse back up again. So Bitcoin has reversed from that point, but it's not clout. I ain't standing here for, I told you it was going to reverse. Forget that. Trying to get you to understand that when you take the logic of the midpoint of a vector candle, it starts to pull things like this. So what did you need to do? Well, if you took the midpoint of that range, the logic would have said you'd be in some good little bit of a return right now. From 78,000 all the way up to 82, you're complaining about a 6K move in Bitcoin. Get out of Bitcoin. There's no point in trading it. And someone did say something quite significant. Cryptocurrency is no longer the thing that you hold. It's now the thing that you trade. Are you in agreement with me on this? Yay or nay? So I would love to know what your comments are. You guys transitioning from investing in crypto to just trading it? Because if they're liquidating traders left, right, and center and violating people all the time, then you might as well jump onto the bandwagon and do exactly what they're doing. You know, so that's the story right there. Quickly going over into Bitcoin price action to understand where we are with it all. So right now, the markets will be open in the next 25 minutes, and we're seeing a lot of shorts, lots of people going short. Oh my God, oh my God. But what do we always say? Buy the blood. Buy the blood. There's blood on the streets, not blood. There's organs all over the place. You might trip up and find someone's lung at the fact that they've just lost their air from the fact that Bitcoin has dropped so aggressively. Look at these bids. It is disgusting. Look at them. What's NASDAQ doing? NASDAQ is the biggest pain in the ass. It doesn't go anywhere. And I think we're going to have a rotation day today, if I'm honest with you, with NASDAQ. Just quickly going over into NASDAQ right now. It just doesn't want to do anything. Just going into smaller timeframes to put it into perspective. Yeah, so NASDAQ is basically in the XRP formation right now. Those of you that know about the XRP formation is it just doesn't go anywhere and just holds inside of a range for a little while. We've had news announcements come out regarding the PCE right there. It says 0.3%. GDP on Canadian dollar has come down at 0.2%. Then you've got the Chicago PMI manufacturing data coming out and China's manufacturing data coming out on Saturday. So that's going to be an interesting one to say the least. But the NASDAQ itself hasn't done anything. Maybe the market's treading on waters cautiously because the volatility index has moved up quite a bit. We'd expect it to come back down because they're heading into hedging ranges right now. Okay. But don't lose your brains, guys. As it is right now, the bonds market seems to be holding out relatively well. It's not going down. It's currently at 103, which is good news. Going into the 2-year yield, you can see that is coming down in essence. Wait, oh, yeah. So the yield's down at 4%. And they do say that when the 2-year hits a 4% mark, that's when you really want to be buying stock. That's what they're saying. So that's very interesting. Oil right now is trading negative. And when the oil trades negative, the logic says that NASDAQ should be moving up because oil prices, if they're going down, that's good news for companies. With that being said, just looking at the NASDAQ, it's so embarrassing at how it just drops down. I flipping hate that asset sometimes. Anyway, Bitcoin. So nice little reversal on Bitcoin to the upside. So you've got red vector candle regions right here on Bitcoin. And the idea is that even though everyone is wetting the bed right now about cryptocurrency, you've just got to just be calm with it. It's come back into the range daily low. Now, we've been looking at this area for the start of the week because at the start of the week, I do a market watch. And this was my projection on Bitcoin at the start of the week on Monday. So we expected Bitcoin to come back down towards the 86,000 point right there. Let me just sort this out. Yeah, to come down to the 86,000, come to 90, do a little bounce, and then come back down to the 86,000. So we know Bitcoin has cleared that range. And this was off the logic of the Asian session on Monday. Now, you've heard me talk about the Asian session. And wherever that Asian session appears, if the session on Tuesday doesn't follow through and break above the Asian session high on a Monday, then we could assume that they're going to be trading away from that point to the downside. If they can't even get above the Asian session low on a Monday, then we assume they're going to be trading it to the downside. So we were fading the logic of Bitcoin coming down and we were looking for retraces throughout the week, but it was just not stopping and it was just collapsing. Same story for Ethereum. We wanted to see Ethereum come down and clear out that wick. It sure did come towards that wick. Come down to the 2,123. Did she take that? Of course she did. Yep. She came down to 2,074. Okay. So she cleared that price projection. So that was a nice little return on Ethereum right there. And then finally, the only one that's been doing relatively well is Solana. Okay. So I wanted to see Solana come down towards the 110 mark. And Solana ended up going down towards only 125. Out of everything, Solana's the one that's holding it down. You know, it's absolutely smashed it. So there could be a possibility that Solana is being retained. Binance has come out and said that it's not manipulating price of Solana at all. But why isn't Solana not moving? That's the question. Going over to our dearly beloved XRP. What are you doing? Still at $2.10. Not really doing too much. Going into the euro, she's trying to make a little bit of a recovery. Be mindful of the fact that the dollar dominance is now trading just at the highs. There could be a bit of a sweep to the downside, a little sweepericious to come down to the green vector candles. Remember, the dollar dominance right now is currently at levels where there is appreciation on its value. So even though you're witnessing the euro moving up and down, dollar is moving up and down. But what you're looking at with the dollar is it's holding sideways. And when the dollar trades sideways per se, this is on the daily time frame. Dollar fundamentally is stuck inside of this 109 and 105 region, moving away from the 105. So it's in a 4-point range. And what this tells me, and frankly, I'll be honest with you all, dollar's going to 109. That's my logic. Dollar will be going to 109 because we haven't had the tariffs yet. Donald Trump hasn't said anything just yet. It's too quiet. And if I'm going to play any longs today, I've got to be very, very careful, as should you guys. Be very careful. If Trump starts talking, anything that comes out of his mouth sounds great for the United States, terrible for the stock market. All right? So just be very, very mindful when you are trading today. Hey, Tino, how much Bitcoin is left that can be bought OTC? That I couldn't tell you, my friend. Quickly going over into here. Maybe we might see it over here. But remember, guys, remember this? Remember the Coinbase Premium Index? Everyone's saying they're selling the Bitcoin. Ain't selling shit. All right? It's all here. There's your buying. There's your buying. Right? It's all there. They're buying Bitcoin because these orders can only be placed by people losing their brain. They need a fast reaction down, which is what we've got. They need to do something psychologically. Retail's like, oh my God, Bitcoin down, quickly sell, sell, sell. I hate crypto. I hate this. Okay, cool. So now it's gone down. You've sold to these dudes. Look, man. 5.78 million at 79,109. Sorry, 1.94 million was the initial amount. Does anybody remember at 79,000 there was an order for 60 million? No longer in there. 20 million was at 80K. It hasn't been filled. Going up here, you got another 20 million. Sorry. Going up here, we got a million, and then we're going into other figures right now. Just go into it. 6.79 million at 81,000. Going to 5.3 over there, and of course, this is where prices come back. So logic says that if price is going to come back up, we need to see more offers coming into play. So basically, retail needs a reason to start buying Bitcoin. That's what we're looking for today. How much got transacted where that 69 million order was? See, I did do that logic myself, okay? And if we look, you got 13 that hasn't been transacted. But if we look at the profile and just go up like this, I mean, 79 million, I'm not really seeing it. So right now it says 5.78 million. I don't believe that is true. Because you've got to remember, across all exchanges, this is obviously Bitcoin on Binance, but across all exchanges, I wouldn't know unless I really dived into that. Okay, Yo T, Bookmap shows there is strong possibility for it to go down to 70K. What do you think? There is a strong chance Bitcoin can go down to 70K. There is a massive chance that it could go down to 70K. To put it into perspective for you all, ladies and gentlemen, what you've got to be mindful of is, I said this is where Bitcoin would likely reverse. And if Bitcoin can reverse from here and start coming back up, considering that it's been going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, 7, 8, sorry. So 8 days, for a whole week, it's been going down. The logic says that if we're going in line with a cyclical move, principally, you look for the M formation, drop. What's the level? Retrace level 1. Bitcoin can come back up, reinstall the fear, the hope in people's eyes, and then Bitcoin takes a shoe bag to the downside. Speaking of shoe bag, let's go and have a look at MicroStrategy. They're going to be itching, bruv. They are itching. So anyone that bought the actual convertible bond at 320, 380, okay, has to wait till it goes to 640 to make a return. So right now, your return is looking very interesting. Hopefully, everything moves back up again and the principle of the volatility index comes into play. But if they've been running shorts all week, ladies and gentlemen, there's probably going to be some short covering coming into play, which is why price in principle would be marking higher. Of course, if Trump turns around and says anything, I'm not really seeing anything. Maybe he'll give the markets a day off. Do you remember? I'm fucking done. He's due to hold a press conference with Ukrainian President Zelensky. I'm telling you, man, we've had Trump appear in this calendar more than US data this week. Honestly, I give up. I am done. So done. 1, 2, 3 times, okay? And let's just change the calendar and exclude the Canadian dollar right now and exclude the Japanese yen, okay? Exclude the euro. So we've got, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's behind by 1 day. God's sake, man. He stresses me out. So that explains why NASDAQ ain't doing anything. That's just appeared. That has just appeared. I don't believe it. Tino, what do you think of the odds of Bitcoin to roll back towards 78K? The odds are massive, man. There's no two ways about it. The odds are massive. I'm just looking at the order flow, and you can just see it's absolutely dog. Look at the NASDAQ. Horrible. S&P. Horrible. Rotation and normal distribution by principle of volume profiles and market profiles and what have you. It's not doing anything until it starts to move, you know? So it's just a tricky one. He really is. So I'll be stepping away from the charts today. I ain't going to do nothing today because I can't stand it when Trump speaks. It's only bad news. You can run shorts, but the market ain't going to behave the way you normally think it would. Dude, what do you think about the Elliott wave impulse theory? Oh, God, I'd have to be diving into that right now. I'm not even paying attention to that, to be fair. So what I'm saying to you guys is with regards to Bitcoin, okay, we've had a nice little bounce from here. And we have got red vector candles that could get recovered at some point. It is trading at the range daily low. Just try not to FOMO in too much. All right. Try not to go in, oh my God, and all of that. Just be realistic with your expectations in trading because it's a tough gag. It really is. All right. Today is a Friday and it does have the tendency to be a boring day or a crazy day. Okay. If they are going to move the markets, the logic and the principle says that we should expect Bitcoin to move higher today. But when it moves up to a specific point before it then comes back down again, well, that's going to be news debates. It's going to be news orientated. All right. We know already the market's going to wet the bed today. I mean, it's going here. Stocks down and NVIDIA's down 8%. And you've got the Mexico-Canada story. So it's just one of those. You just got to be very careful, guys. Bitcoin totals. Here we go. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. Where my totals are. So let's have a look. Totals. So across the board, most altcoins and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is trading negative. And you've got the NASDAQ still going down. S&P trying to hold out on that VWAP. I'm paying close attention to it because I know they're going to try and do something stupid in a minute. And they'll try and make an initial reversal because they've been tapping that VWAP all bloody morning. Once, twice, 3, 4 times right now. And you're telling me that they're selling from that point. Beg to differ. Yesterday, you sold off amazingly. So is there more to go? Have they got more? Probably, but never mind. So 2.6 trillion, 6-7 trillion on the market cap for cryptocurrency overall. We lost that 3 trillion. We lost more than that 3 trillion. I mean, it's just been crazy. Look at it. It's been absolutely wild. But with that being said, here we go. Market's starting to move right now. And with that being said, going to the altcoin market, most of your altcoins are probably going to try and make an initial reversal from these points if they can sustain themselves. If they can't, then never mind. You're losing money. Get out of it and get ready for a different investment. That's the brutal truth of this game, guys. You can hold on to your altcoins as much as you want, but there is motivations behind cryptocurrency. There's things happening. Let's have a look at this. Oh my days, 577,000. It has gone down. So BlackRock has been depositing again. 300, 300, 300, 300, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 80. Ooh. So we're selling a little bit more Bitcoin right now. So that's interesting to say the least. But of course, someone shared a video in the Discord talking about the yields and the yield that they get from going on, you know, they'll buy the ETF and then they'll short it. Okay, so playing like the gamma negative story that dealers would primarily do. But quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to be approaching the day-to-day, trying to work out if this is the bottom, just make sure that you are using light size. Be very careful, okay? Because Bitcoin can shoot straight back up, give you the conviction it's going up, and then come back down again. So ideally, what you're waiting for is you're waiting for Bitcoin to start forming interest back up above the 200 EMA. So this candlestick in principle, given that we are coming in towards the end of a month. So hold on a second. Here's your monthly candle. It's come back down towards the green vector candle on the monthly time frame. Some people never expected it. Thought we're going to get the same flavor right here. Maybe that could be the case, but it has sharply come back down. So go down to the daily time frame and just monitor how this daily candle sustains itself. Okay. Because Bitcoin really needs to hold this daily candle if it's going to try and come back up. The violet vector candle has to stay a violet vector candle. And from that point, it needs to actually close as high as it can up there. What the hell? Trump said something. Trump's saying something. Trump is saying something. Trump's saying something. No, the markets... Trump's saying something. He has to be saying something. The markets can't move like that. Oh, my days. Anyways. Any other questions, guys? If not, with that being said, I will be checking in with you all after the weekend. Monday flavor. If you are new, be sure to like and subscribe. Watch out for the market open. Watch out for Trump. And you want more information, get to tradersreality.com. All the links that you need are in the description, from our preferred exchange, BTCC, to Traders Reality website, where you can become a platinum member and hear me cussing about Trump all day and giving you setups in the mornings. All right. With that being said, guys, mad love and respect, and I'll be tuning into you soon. Peace.